with that, let's all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please keep standing. Thank you, baby. Why don't you lead us in a word of prayer right quick?
Father God, we just give you honor and glory just to be here to speak on the businesses for Central County, give wisdom and knowledge to these men and women that are here to better our community and those that are in our, as well as in our audience. Lord, we just thank you, we honor you, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Give me
Somebody
seat.
else? Oh, our engineers logging in.
Okay. All right. Tonight is May 26th, 2026, for one of our budget workshop agenda meetings. The next one will be in June as well. So with that, can we get a motion? Do we need a motion to approve this meeting agenda? Becky, or no?
Yes.
Can we get a motion to approve this meeting agenda for this evening? Either Mr. Moreno or... Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Cortez. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, everyone. So let's go in, I guess, Dina, the discussion about the 2025-2026 budget.
25, 26, or next year?
It says 25-26 here.
So we're talking on next year, right?
I'm just going by what's on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay, we're not going over financials or that.
No, ma'am.
No, we're not going to over finance.
So make a revision to this agenda. It's 2026, 2027
Yes, sir.
agenda. Please make that for the meeting minutes. Change that,
Did
please.
you guys have the printout,
No, ma'am.
budget? Okay. I have the budget with blank numbers and last year's numbers,
Okay.
and then I have a general ledger from October through, the end of April. And I kind of put in some numbers already that I think will either stay the same or need to increase.
Okay.
And then I have questions about other stuff.
Let's go.
Um,
You need somebody, you have a spare one?
I was gonna just say,
If you have a spare one,
Can you
they can
make
make
some
us some
copies real
copies.
quick?
If you have a spare. Steve, any comments before Dina gets started?
Just a reminder, obviously you're gonna go, I assume there'll be a lengthy discussion about the different categories. Reminder to yourselves that if you, later on, if we have an issue where we have to make a significant change within a category, that's generally a republication and a re-hearing.
Yes, sir.
If we massage numbers within a band, vehicle rental versus vehicle purchase, kind of deal, there is enough room to do that, without having to reopen and restart a hearing.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you for your advice. Go ahead, Dina, you got the floor.
she has all my paperwork.
Okay.
Some of the questions I had were, insurance. I know it might be a little early, but do any of those, have they sent you increases that there would be for like health insurance, or workers' comp? Or with those numbers kind of, is there a set increase so that I could come up with those numbers?
With the workers' comp, they haven't mentioned any increases right now. But we see that towards the end of our fiscal year. And also with the, commercial insurance, like traveler's insurance that we have, that's another one. And that, we don't, renew it till the end of November. So that'll come up for October,
So midway.
yeah.
Is there like a standard over the past few years of what the increase has been?
It was minimal, and in our commercial insurance, it actually went down. And then in our workers' comp insurance, we had also, a refund of like $4,000 this year. So it did go down as well for us. So numbers right now with the insurances are playing, so.
Sure.
What about any other contract services you have, like is the Zumba lady going up, Cintas, how you have like the AED be in
Cintas went up, a few dollars on certain stuff.
like
we
the
monitor
supplies
that.
you buy, or
We
like
don't
the
really
standard
buy it, it's
equipment?
standard with, our first aid. Like we do the first aid, we have the eye wash stations with them.
That's what I was asking, like the
yeah.
set price for the eye wash and the AED,
Yeah.
are those going up at all?
I haven't seen an up on that. They've been more for the, what's it called? We don't buy toilet paper from them, like stuff like that. We don't buy
You
major
should.
stuff like that.
You shouldn't go.
No.
That's not
So
what Cintas
that
is
used to
for.
be part of a contract way back when, but we don't have any of that. Everything else is like the rugs that they brought in, just, I'm trying to think of what exactly is on our list. The scents for the bathrooms in the clubhouse and here.
Yeah, that's not through
And
Cintas.
so they haven't said there'd be, like with fuel prices and everything, any increases on?
I haven't had a letter of an increase yet.
What about blades?
Blades
About
Electric.
what?
Blades
I know
Electric.
like FPL over by us is
Yeah.
doing like
I haven't received anything.
17% increase.
No,
we haven't received
that as
anything.
a community. We haven't received anything as yet.
Can we look at the insurance, all of our insurances for the next one? I'd like to know what we're paying on the different insurances.
Yeah.
What the, and even
The health
the
cost.
health insurance too, I'd like to see
Yeah.
what the
We have a,
percentages.
we actually have a broker. And she does the, she sends us the numbers. So we'll have new numbers, come out in October.
Actually, on another note, I think something that, I'm not gonna speak on behalf of the board, but as a board member, I think everything, every once a year, every 2 or 3 years, all this stuff needs to be vetted out and make sure that we got apples to apples, and then we can see price hikes or other people, see other comparisons to make sure everything is still in line with the checks and balances. That's something that we do, on a regular, because sometimes people, it gets out of hand. So like, for instance, I'd like to see that. I think I've asked you, about
You've done
Shell Rock.
Yes.
I want a second vendor. I want a second one, as well as millings. I see we pay quite a bit of millings. I want to see more. Again, those are the checks and balances. I want to be able to see 2 or 3 if possible,
Sure.
so we can make sure that we're getting what we need.
Again, as you start working on the budget, is there any way that we can build a budget? And I'm not saying we have to publish it this way, but is there any way we can build a budget as we're going through our workshops based on our true revenue that's coming in and not counting what we have in reserve? 'Cause I
That's
think-
kind of how I built it last year. I based it on that
So she-
323.
Yeah, she has a number. Yeah, she has a number that we know for sure. But go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like,
Without touching what's in the bank.
we're still, when we're building the expenses going out, we're still assuming that money's there, because our budget is usually higher than what the revenue that we got coming in that year. And it kind of always accounts for the,
So this kind of, since this is last year's budget, that's kind of your reserve. And then, so I'll try to have it so that this number is the same as that, and then adjust our expenses in there.
yeah, you see, here's your contingency, right?
Mhm.
600. So over here, you started with a 1.8 carryover, but here you only, if you spent everything that's here, you're only gonna carry over 600,000.
So yeah, we could try to do
That's
that.
that's what I think we need to look at as a board, like, we can't continue to add those reserves if we're getting a lot of attention on the reserves, And
I think the other thing that's challenging is you're going through 2 different fiscal years, because October starts the next fiscal year. And then with us, we usually start getting our funds, most people, when they pay their taxes early, November, December, January, February, those are the bigger months where
that's
most
an
of the
even,
money comes.
to me, that's an even bigger reason to do it that way,
Yeah.
because you don't know what's gonna carry over, you know what I mean? We can only assume what we think, because right now we're building it, but the current year hasn't ended. So we don't know what we're gonna carry over.
And then looking at the tax deeds, there's everybody's pretty much close to up to date with their taxes, man, because the property values because of the property values that we have. It's not like in times past, so we're getting, like what she's putting out, we're getting roughly the 3.3, everything that we, from every line item.
I think we should kind of look at it, you know, for the next maybe year or two, where we almost ignore that money, right? The money's there, but, and it helps us in the beginning of the fiscal year, but we ignore that money, we just focus on what's coming in, and, you know, try to zone in on that, and,
That's kind of how the financials that are from you, those have that. Because I'm trying to keep it based on that 3.3, because that's
See.
actual money coming in.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
And I think this budget here is not gonna be correct because we are now in the, we're past the midpoint, right? And we still haven't, I think we finally put the RFP out for road.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be 200 and something, or whatever it comes in. That's gonna come off the books, you know, it's gonna be a big number coming off the books. So I like when you get a new budget, when you have things budgeted, that you go ahead and get these things out the way and not wait till the last minute, because if there are emergencies.
So that's kind of my reason behind it.
Sure.
Is if we have a true budget,
Okay.
right? Like right now, our current budget, like, I'm not saying they don't need to be replaced, but we got half of our equipment on the list, right? We can't replace everything in 1 year.
No, sir.
But if we budget it properly and we have, let's just say, 2 pieces on it, and we know we're gonna be good with replacing those 2 pieces, we can go ahead and replace it in the beginning of the budget, as soon as the money starts rolling in.
Sure.
But right now, it's like, I mean, the way I look at it is, it's almost like we approved the budget, but we're trying to figure out which one of those on the budget we really want to replace, because if not, we're gonna end up with that 600,000, reserve that is a lot lower than where, you know, we should be, so.
as of the end of the last month, we collected 2.2 of the 3.3 million. And I think this, in April, only like another 200,000 maybe came in.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the actual true revenue coming in. I'm more worried about us
Going out.
budgeting more than what the revenue is coming in that year. You know what I mean? Like, for example, our current one, we kind of budgeted using some of our reserves, or carryovers, whatever you want to call them, right? And I think we need to look at it based on what's really coming in and kind of budget from there. Same thing with, you know, with equipment. I think we need to really sit down and look at, you know, maybe, you know, sit down with your guys and talk to them and really figure out what is our worst equipment.
And that's exactly what we did.
But
Like
that
right now,
changes too. Go ahead.
yeah.
Got it. Well, sorry, go ahead.
That's what I did. That's why I only put the mower and the bobcat, the skid steer, sorry, the skid steer. And I had, the dump truck that you guys approved 2 years ago, that we didn't, bring in, because we didn't wanna go over what was coming in.
And that's the
But
reason
those
why,
were the next 2 pieces of equipment that we were gonna, you know,
and that's the reason why I wanna
the actual.
make it based on what our revenue is.
Mhm.
It's, I mean, look at it like in your house, right? Like, you have this money in your savings account, right?
Mhm.
But this is your check coming in,
Correct.
you know?
But a dump truck is,
It's capital.
it's a,
No, I get it.
That's a big price tag.
I get it, but we should be able to, we should be able to replace equipment with our regular money, right? When you pay your truck for your house or your car that your wife drives, are you paying it out of your savings or out of your check that you get every week? Right? Like, you don't wanna be chipping into that just to cover the vehicle. Then you're like, well, we're not doing something right here, baby, right?
Understood.
So that's how I want us to start looking at it, because I think the more we look at it that way, honestly, long term, we'll be able to get more items, because we're gonna plan for it, and not, it's almost like we're trying to figure out as we go.
Understood.
But I think if we can get ahead of it, plan on what we're really bringing in, and make hard decisions as we're going, you know.
Can you get with Becky? Jose, can you get with, not Becky, can you get with Kenny and bring some of those papers in? Please? Not wait for the whole thing to be finished?
And I don't know if maybe I don't know if you started on it already, or, but I think if we can have something similar to what talking about for our next budget meeting.
Well, you'll see on what I'm giving you now is on the general ledger, I sorted everything by the account number, then by the vendor, and by date. So you'll kind of see, if it's in contract services, you'll see all the Cintas stuff together. And I kind of handwritten notes of what we've paid to date, what I think the number would be next year if there's no price increase. You'll see when you get it. I did insurance, but some of it I wasn't sure if.
But you can massage it by a few percent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah,
Like, I wasn't sure
massage it a
on
little bit.
policies, if
Worst
they're
case
like-
scenario, it's gonna go up 3%, 4%, whatever, but and if there's a savings, well,
But like some of them, I wasn't sure, like, are your certain insurances, you pay 12 months a year, like health insurance. I'm not really positive on, like, your workers' comp or your travelers, if those, which I just saw the final payment for travelers, which is an 8-month policy. I was thinking it was probably 10. So getting information like that will help me figure out, even adding in an increase, what those numbers are, because I
So
know the amount
tweaking
of months
it
to
in
be.
even more. Okay, all right, being more accurate, that's fine. All right, let's
This
get
is
to,
your original. I'm gonna give you this, that's what she has.
oh, they're that long, we only got 3 papers?
No.
Go
She's got her other whole
ahead,
stack,
Dina,
yeah.
let's get going.
So based on the general ledger that we'll get, these are some of the numbers I have kind of come up with so far. Golf tournament proceeds, you were closer to bringing in like 36 than 30, so I figured increase that.
Because that's gonna go up this year because of all these other expenses. And even in tournaments I play and people are starting to step it up, so we should be probably pulling in about 40-ish. 40.
You want me to change it?
No, leave it there. I think that's good. If we bring in more, that's even better. What you think, Cortez, right?
Interest income, we're not at 70,000 because things weren't coded the same as prior.
Understood.
So that one I would lower to 53,000.
Okay.
Vending machine income, we're not bringing in 1,000. I would lower that.
Fine.
I wasn't sure about the Culver grants, is 40,000.
So,
Is that?
so the tax revenue prior year, is that 20,000 good? Have we received anything?
No.
I mean, so we probably need to take it off, because it sounds like everything's
Well,
caught
I
up,
was
right?
thinking I'm gonna wait till closer near the end of the year and then see out of this 3.3 if how
Where
much
we're at.
isn't collected.
Okay.
And if there's like, 50,000 or 10,000, put it in there so it's more accurate.
Okay.
Culvert grants, I wasn't really sure about that.
That's money that's already been out. That's money that we've already spent that we haven't received back.
So put the same amount in for next year.
Hopefully that's what we get, that's what we have out.
So then that one will be 40,000. The dirt sales income, I don't know if you consistently sell the same amount of dirt.
We don't.
I don't think we do, but I know there's a big old pile out there that
This year
probably
was
needs to be
closer to
sifted through.
35. already.
Really?
So
Wow.
I
So
increased
dirt
the
again?
20.
Okay. I know there's a lot out there. I'm looking at the pile, they cleaned, they did a good job cleaning.
Miscellaneous income, I know you don't like the word miscellaneous, but there are some things that go in there like berry sales and stuff like that. He is going to continue doing that.
Yeah.
Right? That,
And we'll probably have that gator guy too, or
Yes.
that's
somebody
why
doing
I
the gator.
increased it to 29,000 instead of the 10.
And can you put it like sub, like for instance, underneath it?
The notes in the general ledger will show that. You
Okay.
really don't want your chart accounts to
No, I
be
understand.
as big.
But I think on the board, we wanna know, okay, we had 50,000 in miscellaneous, which one came from which, you know?
Yeah, when I print my monthly
To
reports,
see if
I
it's
put
worth
it on there
doing it in the
to,
future,
to let you know. So
so there are some risks.
I write that out like on this one.
Okay.
It was like 17 for berries,
Understood.
178 for property.
Okay,
Do you have any properties that you think will be selling next year?
We don't have any more properties under our name to sell.
we
Okay.
got one.
So 29,000 I said for that
We
one.
have one that we haven't sold, right? I haven't signed off on it. We do.
We got the 185 we sold, which is that one we sell. Oh, there's one. We sold the data one and I need of this,
The one that you have to get off perimeter.
yeah, that's the only one.
What is that, is that 45?
40.
40.
Ain't nobody buying them.
Permit income, I don't know how consistent that is, but this year, it seems like it would be on track to do closer to like 55 instead of the 35.
Well, I would probably massage that down because now Henry County has not a moratorium, they have an impact fee. So you have to pay an extra 6,000 to 8,000 to build on top of your permit. So I'm pretty sure that's going to,
So would you wanna keep it the same, or do you think it'll be?
I'd take it maybe, again, because after a while, we can't do more permits after a while, once you have
The
it all
only,
out.
yeah, the only thing that's
I don't
going
know
on
what
right
the
now is the Comcast, that they have to pull a permit from us for
Sure.
the digging and
Okay.
stuff like that,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So that is happening right now. And that's where we're seeing a bigger increase. Also, the turnaround in selling properties. So if you're a new owner, you have to come and you have to change everything under your name, you have to do the inspection. So if it's a prior one, it's not gonna be the $200, but it will be 75.
So would you keep it at 35, would you lower it?
I would leave it at 35 for now, only because everything is balancing itself
I would
out
say
in the
so.
sense of, yeah.
Ain't no sense of taking it out, that was just,
Prior year carry forward, that number will come in closer to September. Discounts and commissions, I have notes on that stuff, so I don't have things in those numbers. If you go down to supervisor fees, that would stay the same. Miscellaneous expenses, again, there's just a couple things that go in there, like the H.E. Hill Foundation that you did. Is that something you're gonna donate to every year?
No, that was just they support us all the time, and they reached out, and we spoke about it.
Well, I put 750 in there just in case there's stuff like
Yeah.
that comes up that wouldn't really get its own line item if it's a one-off thing here.
Yeah.
Going down to the Christmas party, I kind of have broken out and I made another account of miscellaneous events. So the Christmas party, you actually only have spent, you get a set amount for that, right? So
Mhm.
that actually, okay, so that would stay at 6,000.
Yeah,
And then for miscellaneous events like Easter, Valentine's Day, breast cancer wall,
Mhm. all the other major ones we do.
I put year to date has been 8,000.
Okay.
So are there any more between now and the end of September?
No, all our main events are the same ones every year, they don't change.
So I would put that at like 8,000.
thing.
Alright, going back up, interest income. Vending machines. If you go past the income account to the second page of the big packet, 900. I'm pretty sure the South State loan is paid off after July's payment, correct?
That's the levy,
So that will keep.
that one keeps going, yeah.
That one got forever, seemed
Yeah,
like way before us,
So,
it'll be way
and
after us too.
it's twice a year, correct? Like
yes,
January and
there's two
July.
payments,
Okay, so then I would keep interest expense the same and the bond principal payments the same. Commercial insurance, that was the traveler's question I had. That is only an 8-month policy, right? Where you make payments for 8 months.
On travelers,
Mhm.
it's a lump sum. On the travelers insurance, you paid a lump sum on there.
And then,
The one that's monthly is workers' comp, which is the preferred, the PGIT.
well, we've gotten a couple bills from travelers, so how do
It was
the
two bonds.
invoices that they send,
if it goes up, but then at the end, we have a check that was returned.
Mhm.
So that's when you see the difference.
Okay, so would you keep that the same?
I believe we're at 60,
Without the discount so far, you're at almost 80,000.
yeah, that's, remember, yeah, because they were saying between 72 and 76. So,
Okay, so I'll put 80,000 in for that. Legal advertising, how many times a year do you advertise?
maybe 3 or 4.
Because we have.
Because like for now,
Election.
for the elections, we do it for our annual, what is it called? The elections is the legal one. Our dates that we surrender to the county and everywhere else. I do a legal ad for that because we have to post it.
So far for the year, we have two that are at $400 and we have 2,500 budgeted. Would you keep it 2,500 or lower it and
We could probably lower it.
1,000?
Yeah. It's just before we would run a lot of ads with, the local newspaper as far as employment and stuff like that. So it would become costly. Lately, we haven't had to. So,
For supervisor fees, I kept that the same. I did 12 meetings and 5 budget meetings times the 5 board members.
and, okay, yeah, budget meetings, you said that. And in
Um,
case there's a specialty meeting,
they
get, like, let's say that there was a disaster or hurricane or something, that we would have to call an emergency meeting, they would, they would get paid.
So for the 17 meetings, that would come to 4250 in the budget. Last year was 4,500, so keep it at 45.
Yeah.
Miscellaneous expense, we already went over. Accountant, there will be a price increase, you said. Auditor, do you have like a 3-year contract with them where there's like an increase each year?
What did you say about the account?
He's not increasing anything.
The auditor, I believe he already, gave us their increase.
For, it's a set for a certain amount of time, like
Yes.
what is your contract rate?
No, till 27, I think it is.
So it'll be 17 each year, it's not like 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that at 17. Attorneys, do we know if they proposed a price increase?
They did, right, Steve?
They did.
17%. Because they were getting 91, right? It was 91 the prior year, and the 17%, it came up to like 106, right?
Is there another increase? Because I have 106 for last year's number, because it stays.
I think that was the increase, right, Steve? I don't hear you.
Right, you started talking, I didn't want to interrupt anybody.
Oh.
Yes, that's my recollection is.
So it's the same next year.
We might just want to check the number, from, let me see if I can look it up for you real quick.
And the engineer, do they have a price increase for next year?
I haven't received anything for them. What they are doing is any services, like besides, well, Jeff, you're online. Do you want to chime in? I guess. Any other, tasks that we assigned them?
There we go, yeah, you're up, you're good.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay. Can you can hear me now? I want to make sure I'm responding to the right thing. I'm chiming into the right thing. I'm just transitioning from the office. I'm in the vehicle, so I didn't hear that last portion. foresee a price increase for next year for our monthly allocations. The only thing that would increase is just in case anything that we have to do per hour is, I guess just depends on how in-depth the project, we get involved in. That would be the only thing that would, change, in pricing between this year and next year, the amount of hours we put into a particular project.
Was their contract amount last year 60,000, or did that include, extra?
I believe it was at 60.
That's
Any
the-
other services, yeah, were separate.
Okay, so increase it 5,000, 10,000. We haven't had a ton of extra services yet. I think it's been 5,000, less than 1,000 for lunch.
Yeah.
So, how much extra stuff did we do? I think it's 62, 65.
Let's say that's like 64.
Okay. Then going to contract services. They'll be pretty much the same, and their increase would be minimal. ADP, that's what you pay for the payroll service, not anything wage related. Have they sent you anything saying there would be a price increase?
No.
Drug screens, those, just how do they work, random, or do you have a set amount you have to do a year?
We do them random.
And you have a set amount that you do per year? Or per, yeah, fiscal year? So far, there's been 3 done for this year,
Right.
so
And we
kind of
have
that's like an
one more.
average.
We kind of have, yeah, we do it 4 times.
Okay.
I try to do it 4 times throughout the year. And that doesn't include also when we're doing our summer camp that we have now with the employees that are going to start.
And how many employees do you have at the summer camp?
There's going to be, we got 12 that are ours. And then Ulysses with the workforce, we have, I think it's 10 that they're picking up.
Okay, so Teresa said that they'll probably be like 15 done a year.
Well, we're not going to do them. We don't do them, we're just doing ours.
Okay, so how many do you think will be done a year? 4? That we pay for?
4 times out of the year, yes. Well, 5 with the summer camp.
Since obviously said the eyewash stuff isn't changing. Crumbs quarterly, crumbs, you do them quarterly, they're about $200. Have they set any price increases?
They have no.
Do people that you have contracts with or service like this, do they usually give you some kind of notice before an increase?
Some have, some have.
They
Some of
usually
them,
do. They have to. They gotta give you notice.
Is there a certain amount of time that like the county requires, like, hey, if you're gonna increase prices, we need to know 90 days, we need to know by September, August?
I think if there isn't, we need to implement something that you need to have that in by the fiscal year. If not, you have to wait till the next fiscal year workshops because all this money needs to be accounted for. It's just my 2 cents on that one. Even like professional services, you just can't say, hey, I'm gonna raise it because of such and such. You know, you have to.
Yeah, for budget purposes, it would be great if
Correct.
somebody was gonna increase your prices,
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
a regular contract with,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
by the latest August.
Absolutely.
FAS, QuickBooks, those are pretty much the same, Microsoft, Sam's Club membership, Samsara license. Is that a once a year?
once a
thing?
year. That's once a year.
South Aqua, they do your herbicide maintenance,
Twice a year.
yearly, and they don't have price increases.
No, he's under a contract. Once his contract is getting to expire, he has
He'll
to
bring
go to
it.
another board.
Right. He'll bring it up before us.
And it's not expiring before October?
No, he signed a contract last year.
Okay.
And if I'm not wrong, it's for 5 years.
Water quality, they test quarterly, no price increase.
There won't be from him.
Yoli, no price increase.
No.
Okay, we'll pull those out, there's nothing in the budget sheet for next time. Have if we go to equipment rental, Next Air is where you get your cylinders. I would say about 3,000 for them. Pure Water, they haven't said anything about a price increase, right?
No.
Okay, so this will stay the same then.
I got a question real quick. How many cylinders we have on rent, do you know?
I think it's just one.
They don't have
No,
much.
oxygen, oxygen,
We don't have any tanks
That's
yet.
not a lot.
no.
We don't have many.
I would just double check just to make sure we have the right inventory, because
Sure.
I would hate to be paying on rent for years and years on.
No, we have the helium tank for the balloons for the kids in the summer and the
Yeah.
house.
No, what I'm saying, I
No,
would
he's
double
talking
check
about-
on the invoice.
He's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Like if the invoice says 10, but on our side we only have 6, then we
Oh,
need,
no.
you know what I mean?
No,
I would double check
He's
that.
talking about for our welder.
We've checked that inventory. It
Okay.
matches, yeah, it matches. They went up, I think it was like 2 years ago on the rental, but they haven't gone up again.
Next one is the grant management. This year we're gonna be over on it because Culpepper, will they be continuing into next year, or is it just we're using them for a short time for something specific?
Culpepper and Turpin is for the pump itself.
She's asking for revenue. Is there money for next year that we have to pay them as well?
Yes,
Because they're not on, they're not on our budget, so to speak.
yeah.
It's just during these services that we're using it.
Mhm.
So last year we budgeted 25,000. So far we've already paid Culpepper 43,000, and then Ovid is about 1,000, averaging about 1,000 a month. Does Ovid increase or is that a pretty set price?
That was based on the grant.
Okay. So Culpepper, how far into the next year do you think it will be before we're done paying them? I mean, because if it's 43 now, is that, like 43 every couple months, or 43 every 6 months, it's a big
think-
price difference.
I think Culpepper and Turpin, they're our designers, correct, Becky?
Correct.
So their design should be almost finished.
Mhm.
So here going forward, I believe what we'll see from them is services during construction,
Correct.
which will not be the same as in design. So if you could just give them a shout and ask them what roundabout figure
Mhm.
are we looking at expanding in this fiscal coming year?
Okay, once we have that, then I'll put that number in.
Isn't that money supposed to be coming back as grant money?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, correct.
So
That's absolutely correct.
That's the other thing too, all the money going out to Culpepper should be coming back eventually as grant.
Mhm.
Comes in, correct.
And we've
That gets
already,
reimbursed.
submitted for the reimbursement.
So we did?
Mhm.
So I
For
think
what,
that-
the invoices, I'm sorry to withdraw.
No, you're good, I was
But
gonna say.
the invoices that you paid, that we paid, they already received it with it clearing our bank, and that was the last of it.
Mhm.
So they signed off on it. So we should be seeing money hopefully coming in.
So that's something to keep in mind there on those totals too,
That we get that back.
yeah, it's coming back.
Correct.
When it's the smaller invoices, do those also get everything from Culpepper? Will
Yes,
get reimbursed?
Absolutely.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything gets applied to the grant, yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Discounts and commissions, this is what the county takes out of tax payments that go in. Is there a set percentage that they're set to take, or how is that figure? When they give you like 200,000, they keep like 1,000?
The administration fees?
Yeah,
For the grant?
No.
The
Oh, you're
parent-
talking
when
about-
people pay tax.
Yeah.
I got you.
Is there like an agreement that says it's like, hey, we keep 5%, we keep 2%? Because then that'll be easier to come up with this number
Oh,
based off of the 3 million.
If we
I
don't
just got
know,
it, I have the letter,
yeah, we should check with them.
I have that.
Okay, so once I have that number, I'll be able to come up with those.
Even, actually, on the invoice itself, it stated it. If I'm not wrong, it was on there for like a 12%. That's
I'll look
what
at it.
I'm trying to remember for their services, for collecting the money and sending us a check.
Property appraisers, assessing fees, so I assume that's a once a year thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that stays.
That's based on whatever we
Mm-hmm.
make the assessment?
Correct.
Okay. Maintenance and repair of dirt roads. We spent the whole amount that we had. Would you want to keep that amount for next year? Are prices going up? Are there more roads you're doing?
Oh, we're still gonna do roads. That's not gonna change. What's gonna change is the pricing and the material costs.
Yeah, I think going back to what Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Chair was saying, we should heavily look into that, probably 2 or 3 vendors. Not just shell rock, but everything that, all the material that we buy. 'Cause I think,
Correct.
You know, that's where we can probably save some money.
That's where the meat of our expenses come out.
Mm-hmm.
So, wait until you get some proposals. and then
Yeah.
put it in the effort.
I'll get the quotes.
Same for, repairing dirt roads.
Mm-hmm.
Street signs, we haven't spent
I
anywhere
just got,
near
I
like
just got 2
$30,000.
quotes. I just got 2 quotes from 2 different companies.
So you're gonna have
Yeah,
more.
I'll have,
than-
yeah. Right now, it's not looking, like a big number, but we had a big number 3 years ago. I think it was like 29 or something like that. In regards to signs, it won't be that significant, but I'm waiting on another quote, so.
Do you know roughly how much the quote is? Is it like 2,000?
Right now, well, right now for what I'm looking at, it's like 2,300.
Okay.
But those are poles, that's not signs, you know, so there are some signs that, we're gonna,
And the second, we have 30,000 in the.
we have 30,000 because we have to replace like all the school bus signs,
Yes.
if you notice them, and there's a lot of stop signs. And the thing is that people have come after we put beautiful new ones, they come and shoot them up.
Yeah, you won't see signage go down. You're
Mhm,
gonna see signage go up.
mhm,
Every year, you have
Every,
to replace it?
yes, ma'am.
mhm.
You get in an accident, somebody steals the pole, somebody steals the sign, somebody shoots it out, you gotta replace it, so.
Or they're pulling the post out, or they're running it over, it's in half,
Yeah.
and, you
So
know.
keep it at the 30,000 or?
That's
Yeah.
probably on the cheap side, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Okay. Canals and levies, that's at 70,000.
Mhm.
So far, we've spent almost 19.
Canals and levies. Be more specific with that, please?
It's
Canals and
canals and
levies.
levies, it's
What you making
You
reference
put the
to?
HDPE double wall.
The
HDPE?
culverts,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
culverts,
piping.
yeah. The
Oh, you're
culverts.
talking about the culvert piping.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and that's gonna come also from the grant.
You're talking about purchasing culverts
Purchasing
and
them,
piping.
yeah.
Okay. HDPE is piping.
Yeah, that's the pipe.
That's another thing we could also
Mhm,
price out.
mhm,
I think if we're not mistaken, we got that actually from the manufacturer,
correct.
out of Sebring. We're actually getting it from the horses now. But we actually took trucks up there to go get it.
So do you do
So
the
you
same
actually
amount
cut out
of
the middleman on
culverts
that.
every year, keep it the
It's
same?
not
or
every
actually
year,
cost.
it's not every year, as we go using them,
Correct.
is when we go replacing them. So if they're collapsed, I buy the grant that was given to us. We are in our rights to go ahead and change them, because it is part of the, infrastructure of replacing and upgrading.
So would you keep it 70,000 for next year, or increase it?
I'm gonna leave it as is, because we don't know. And there are different sizes of culverts, it's not just the basic 18 by
Correct.
30.
Yeah, 20-inch,
We got
24.
the 24, we got 36 and 48.
That's correct.
So under supplies, we budgeted 75,000, and year to date, so far, we're at 45. And that includes Abilene, stuff from Amazon, Bob Means Supplies, Cintas, Sam's Club.
Yeah, those are all different.
So would you keep it the same, or?
Yeah, because we still have the 3 months, and we still have like back to school bash that we do, where we buy all the supplies, backpacks.
Are those things you give out and you, I would not code that as supplies, that should go to event expense, back to school.
I
supplies,
think we did last year. I think we put it under miscellaneous events last year, didn't we?
I
You don't remember?
wasn't-
Well, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. But, the supplies themselves though, like summer camp right now.
Mhm.
So we buy a lot of the syrups for the ices that we give them, any popsicles, that's all that goes to them.
That should be coded under the summer program expense account.
Which is still supplies, because we keep those at hand.
I know, but it's easier to keep track of what we're spending money on
Mhm.
if summer stuff goes to summer stuff.
Okay.
We do miscellaneous event and stuff like back to school
Mhm.
under that. And then supplies be strictly things you buy and use.
Okay, like the paper toilet, paper towels, yeah,
So do you
which
think,
they do go up during the summer because of the kids.
so do you think that would stay at 75 or increase or decrease?
Right now, you said we're at 45,
Yeah.
and we still have 4 months,
5 months left.
yeah.
Okay.
We have 4 months left.
Yeah, 4 months.
October 1st
Well,
starts.
based on these, numbers, everything's from the end of April.
I understand.
Mhm.
Skipping through the rest of supplies then, going to fuel.
So you
Fuel
know,
prices are going up everywhere.
No.
I don't,
Mm.
right now, you're at 525 for the year, averaging that out and timesing it by 12 is at 90,000, which is under the 120 budgeted, but I still would increase that. I'm still not sure how much equipment and vehicles you have, so do you think 150 would be a good number? Higher than
We
that?
need to price that out too.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Palmdale, you got Howell out there.
yeah. Well, Howell, yeah, we had Howell before, and then, Burner gave it to us at a better price. So, I never heard the
Palmdale is kind of one of the newer big companies out in the area.
okay.
They're all over the place too. They're pretty big. But you got Palmdale, you got Howell.
I know Howell, because we worked with them
Yeah.
before, you know?
They're in Dudley. Palmdale has a Dudley location as well.
Mhm,
They have Okeechobee, so I would price those two out.
mhm.
I mean, they all have the tanks. I don't know if we own the tanks or if we
Ours are owned,
own the tanks.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's even easier.
yeah, ours are owned, all our tanks are owned. And, so,
So I'll make sure you get some other numbers before we put anything in that one.
yeah,
I think if you talk to any of them about, our total expense, they're gonna,
yeah.
Repairs and equipment, for equipment and vehicles, we budgeted this year 175. So far for the year, we're at 87. If I spread that out for the whole 12 months, if it's consistent, it would be like 140 we come in at. Keep it at 175 since stuff is getting older, or increase it?
No, I leave it.
Clubhouse and pool, we have 40,000 in there, and so far for the year, we're at 32,000, and if you spread that out for 12 months, it will come out that we're gonna spend about 55.
Yeah, because I think we had 70 in there before, and we lowered it to 40 this year.
Okay, so increase it to 60, 55.
I'd go to 60. We need a whole new pool. We need a pool house. That's part of the capital outlay.
So now, group insurance under payroll combined, do you know about any, I saw that the invoice just went up this month, so there shouldn't probably be another increase. That one would be 3480. Florida Blue, I know other places we usually don't get increases until October.
Correct.
So do you have, based on prior history, to go up a certain amount normally? Is it same regularly?
Florida Blue went up, but the other health insurances have kept the old, like United and Aetna. So that's something like Kim, the lady that does the benefit group, which is
Can you
SNR.
ask her if
Yeah.
there'll be,
I can
even
ask
if
her.
she can estimate
Yeah.
what the increase would be?
Yeah, she'll give it to me. She'll give it to me.
Same for MetLife, do you know?
She does all of them.
Okay.
She does all the vision,
She does
dental.
Sun Life too?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So I'll make a number for those. Workers' comp, do you know if there'll be an increase on that?
They didn't send anything yet. I haven't seen anything, and I was just at their, education training day.
Okay. Wages and overtime. I calculated wages with, you said that it's normally a 3% increase?
Yeah, the COLA.
Okay, so I calculated out what 1 hour of work would be for all the employees here, and then added a 3% increase to that, and times it by a whole year. Your bonuses, is that usually 1 week of pay? How are
That's
they
our
calculated?
appreciation.
Yeah,
That's appreciation
whenever
check.
you get
It's a week's
bonuses.
pay. Mhm.
Overtime, I don't really know how to estimate the number of hours. for
You
that.
can't unless
You
you
can't.
have,
You can't because of hurricanes and
yeah, the storms.
flooding issues, you can't put a number there. You can try to track it, historically, what we pay, but you can't really pinpoint it. Because there's 5 storms come through the area, we're gonna blow those numbers out, so you just try to use what you've done in the last, 4 or 5 years.
Would you
Okay,
have
I hear.
that information from prior payroll stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could tell me like just what the overtime hours have been, I could figure out the dollar amount. Vacation, do they usually get 1 week or do people accrue 2 to 3?
They accrue it after like 5 years, you get 2 weeks, and then if you're 10 years, you get the 3 weeks.
Dina, can you look at something for us? This is coming from myself. Can you look, because I'd like to see what we can do, besides the COLA, an evaluation, so maybe instead of giving the normal. So what I see is, it's like for instance, let's just say for instance, Mr. Cortez, he kicked butt for 2026, and I'm Mr. Modern, I didn't kick butt for 2026. You might get the same amount that I get. So I'd like to see some differential. I'd like to see some rewards. This is coming from me, Mr. Cortez. I'll let you chime in if you like, but I'd like to see some separation, and the ones that are doing good work, the ones that are going above and beyond, that there be some rewards for them.
I could put in a set amount that we kind of go up to each year.
And the other thing I'd like to see
And then it
is,
would probably need to be like Becky that tells you.
right. But the other thing that I'd like to see, what most people do on their jobs is,
Like employee of the month.
well, no, I'm talking about more like, I want to see like pay ranges. So for instance, heavy equipment operator number 1 starts at 50, mid is 75, max is 100, you know what I'm saying? Because if we don't do stuff like that, it's hard for us to get the quality and the licenses that we need to do the work that we are asking to be done in our community.
With that, Becky, I'll give you, the list that you keep of employees with their dollar amounts. You can kind of write down what they are.
Yeah.
I have no idea what their amounts are here.
Because most, I know we've had to do that at our place, and when we looked at it with our HR department, they're like, oh, we're way behind, we need to catch up. So we had to make some adjustments to our pay scale for each position, so to speak.
And like this year, you were supposed to, or the minimum was to be at everybody at 15, like right now with the summer camp, you know? So everybody would be starting at 15, unless you're the camp counselor, head counselor, you know, and the lifeguards, the 2 lifeguards that we have, that are here with the kids, so. And I believe that's what we had inputted that last year, Dina, when we went over it, that increase. That 15? Yeah, I believe we did, when we sat down.
But I'll discuss it with the board, because I looked at the way we kind of did our evaluations on our employees. I didn't think it was.
Okay, so I'll get what all their
I don't think that's
jobs
what
are,
we're looking for.
and then look for wage ranges, and then I'll tell you how much each
Yes.
person in each category is currently
Cause it's nothing, I think it's a good thing to make sure that, hey, by the way, your job description and looking at, hey, this is where you should be in. And then you can look at yourself and say, okay, I'm where I need to be. Or like, hey, you know what, I'm overpaid, or, you know, by the way, I need to be looking at, you know, the pay scales in the last surrounding areas or whatever. They need to bring it up to scale.
And I believe you guys did that about 4 or 5 years ago,
Correct.
and we brought everybody up to,
The thing in the
or
last.
at that time,
Yeah, but in 4 or 5 years, inflation goes up.
Yes, sir.
Other people's pay scale, the pay scales usually, you know,
Have you said something about Becky?
just look into it.
You know, one thing I forgot keeps crossing my mind, and I keep forgetting, but it's not related to this, but when we talk about rental equipment,
Yeah.
so like to me, you know, we should definitely keep like a water pump on the budget, maybe 2 or 3 weeks of, I think it's either 1 week or a month.
It's usually cheaper by the month.
By the month, right? So maybe figure out what that 1 month rental is, because you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have it on the budget. Same thing with an excavator, like if we're doing some big job and
Sure.
one of our excavators goes down,
Absolutely.
Kelly has them here, you could always grab one from there if you need it, but I would like to have it on the budget, because sometimes it's more efficient to pay the extra rent money than to,
Purchase it.
you know, or keep the guys down because they can't finish the job, right?
Well, I think a lot of people, what we've learned too, because we have a lot of equipment, right? And what we did is when we track the hours, it's like, why do we need all this equipment when you see the hours it's actually used? It's cheaper sometimes just to rent it, have them deliver it, boom, 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 and take it back, your budget. So those are the things that you have to weigh. But I agree with them, because I rent 3 Thompson pumps every year because of hurricane season to move water around.
And I've done it with Jonathan from United Rentals.
We had to do it
We
that one time.
keep
Yeah.
him, you know,
Yeah. I would just
Give you a
add
number.
just in
maybe
case.
a pump for a month and an excavator for a month or something. I mean, it's.
So would we want to increase the 15,000 that we have in there? Because right
I
now,
don't know what the number is. I mean,
we have 15,000 budgeted.
Yeah, it would be definitely,
yeah, excavator,
More
probably
than that.
15,000.
Easy.
yeah,
Not excavated.
And how much are water tanks for like?
the water.
No,
pumps
he's
that
talking
we
about a
sell,
water pump. Yeah, he can give you some rough numbers.
I can give you numbers for that.
Okay, give me those numbers and then we'll increase the 15,000 under account 560.
Mhm.
So payroll,
Mhm.
payroll will kind of, once I know about overtime, how many hours have been worked, I'll be able to update that number. Same for our retirement contributions, how does that account work, like, you
The
can match a
matches-
certain
The
percent?
max is 14, we do 11, and the employee does 3%. That's the breakdown, and that's what the Florida retirement. Mhm.
Okay, so the employee, what we get charged for is 3%?
Yes. Well, then, yeah, the employee pays 3%, and we pay 11, 11, yeah.
Okay. So then, once I have a payroll number, I'll be able to update that based on 11%.
Mhm.
Payroll taxes, they come out to about 29% of wages, so once I have a better idea on what we're putting in the wages, I'll be able to come up with taxes as well. Professional development, we created that account for breaking out stuff like the quarterly meetings and when.
Training, stuff like that.
We put 17,000 in there, for the year, if things kind of carry out the way they have been, we'll be at about 14,400.
Okay.
Keep the 17,000, decrease it a little bit, increase it, our prices of,
Yeah, because everything's going up.
so, we get
Just take it like
20,
20
yeah.
for right now.
Uniforms, is that something that is yearly or
The
as
boots,
needed?
the boots and the bottoms is yearly. which we bought it in bulk, the shirts. What changes are the bottoms and the boots.
The boots, bottoms, and shirts
Mm-hmm.
are yearly.
Yeah.
So far for the year, we're at 8,800, almost 9,000. Are you done buying them for the year?
Yeah.
Okay, so keeping it at about 10,000 for next year would be accurate.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Security, the group one, safety and security, it's quarterly. Have they said anything about price increases on that?
No, they have not given me an increase on that.
Okay, I'll put that in at 1250, and if you hear about an increase, just let me know. And
I will. Mm-hmm.
Utilities from Blades Electric.
They haven't given us
They
an
haven't.
increase or
Yeah,
nothing.
just maintain what we have. I would say on that one, Dina,
Mhm.
they haven't said anything to us.
So keep that at 40,000. Communications, Connex and FirstNet, are any of those prices going up?
You know,
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
We're set to be at like 13.5, so I would lower this one to 15, just to be safe, in case you add a line or anything. Sanitation. So your monthly,
sanitation, it's gone up. What did you have?
your
Yes.
monthly comes out to about 8,400 a month. We budgeted 16,000. So far this year for extras, there's been almost 25,000.
But that's because we got rid of all those tires and everything. We cleaned house,
Is there more to clean out that would carry over next year, or?
unless they come and dump them in our first walls and stuff like that.
I still think they're at 16,
I go up, because they're gonna go up on their prices.
20, 25.
I would do like 25, and I'm gonna say, because the contract is up at Henry County for this, the sanitation company, so depending on who it is.
Alright, so now that I have those answers for next meeting, I will put them into this to show you. And if you have any questions based on anything on the general ledger, the budget sheet.
So, you just spoke on the tires, right? That's from illegal dumping. So we can tighten that up, Becky, and in the community, that number can come down.
I like the gates that we have out there. I think we should probably put more of those. I don't know how much,
We had those sitting here,
you know,
and since we had the boulders, had them put those up, so,
I would look into putting more, even if we have to put those on.
on the end of the
extra
canals.
budget. Yeah. I mean, and not just at the end of the canals, but even in some of the easements, like depending on which ones you see a lot of issues with. Like I would look into that because, like, I mean, like, you know, me with my car, right? There's not really a reason for me to be driving through those easements. You know, sometimes people do. Sometimes people drive with no harm, but sometimes you don't know who's going in there and dumping something, right?
I know we talked about, putting something on the end of the canals, like the thing is that the tractors go, anybody can get in though, from any side of the roads, on the south end side.
Yeah. And I just don't know what's permitted, what's not permitted, you know, because, you know, Henry County Sheriff needs to be able to access,
And
And
the fire
the fire
department as well.
department.
Mhm.
and then, you know, we also need to take in consideration our equipment.
Mhm.
Like if we're going into there, can we fit with our stuff, you know, or we're shooting ourselves in the foot, but, I mean, I like them, I would like to see more of that. I don't know how many, you know, how far we could go with it as far as where we can put them at, but I've seen the ones you guys put out there, and I think they look good. I think, you know, they kind of sends a message, you know, so.
Did you have any questions for anything so far this year? Do you wanna take that home and
So,
by next month
I
or
like this, I would like
tomorrow?
to see this every month,
And then
and
I'm doing it quarterly for you if you want it monthly.
I would like to see a monthly. I may not bring anything up on it, but I would like to see it. I like the way you kind of, I don't know if you do the description or Becky does this, but I like the way it looks.
That's me kind of going off with the invoices there.
Yeah.
Dina, if you could also, just one thing that I would ask with all the stuff that we spoke about, in the 3.3, where does all these numbers total out? As we were talking on the side right here, we know the capital outlay is a different story. If you have it, great. If you don't, you know,
All these numbers
understood.
so far total up to 1,551.
So that's good. Alright,
So what you have here on the,
so we can chip
That's
away.
as of the end of April.
Understood. Okay. And we got some time still.
oh, so, no, you're saying the actual is 1.5.
That was spent to date so far.
Okay.
But we
I
also
think-
haven't
I
done
think,
any of the big capital stuff.
but I think what Mr. Mine is saying is adding all this to our budget for next year, what our total be.
Correct.
That, once I put all the numbers in
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
That's what, I think that's what he.
Because again, the need for me when I got on is, we had a skeleton out there, right? Jose was here, we had a junk pile of equipment, right? So unfortunately, what Mr. Cortez is coming into and what he's seeing is, there's been a lot of money spent, yes, I agree, but we can't perform services without equipment, right? So all those things, there has to be a balance, I agree, there has to be a balance. So there's a time and season for everything, right? So there's time to make money, there's time to spend. So as we've paid off some of our equipment, which we've done a good job, we've paid off some of the equipment, but we've held off, for instance, like for instance, this dump truck, if you look at it,
It's been there for the last 3 years.
and that's
That was,
a
that was
quarter,
actually other stuff I did have.
that's a quarter of a meal going up, it's not going down.
No, and that's, that,
We just bought some,
so my,
so I know they're pretty penny.
like my thing is I, you know, if it was up to me, I'd say let's buy everything brand new, right?
If
Start from scratch.
we had to.
If we had the money, I'd be like, let's get everything
We would
brand
love
new,
to.
we can start from scratch.
We would love
But
to.
what I would like to see on the budget is realistic items, right? And, you know, you guys can get creative with it, right? Maybe you say, you know what, you guys look at it, the interest is this on a 3-year lease or a 3-year loan, 5-year loan, whatever it is,
Yes.
and we put it in numbers here, and then when the board looks at it, it's like, you know, it's not 10 items, it's 2 items, right?
Sure.
Or whatever it is, whatever
Right.
makes sense,
Sure.
like,
Right.
and I know we keep talking about the dump truck, but, and maybe the dump truck needs to be in there, maybe we need to finance it, you know, if we don't have the money for it.
Absolutely.
But, like, I think this year we looked at mowers, we looked at gators, we looked at
That's
dump
the
truck, we
ones
looked
I
at,
still wanted to go.
we looked at zero turns,
Sure.
I mean, we've looked at everything, but what are we really hurting on? And that's how we need to work down our list.
Prioritize.
You know what I mean? And like, if the dump truck is really in bad shape, we need to talk to banks. We need to talk to banks and see if maybe, I don't know what brand we want. Is it a
So,
Peterbilt? Is it a Mack? And talk to them and see what their finance company does, because it may not be a lot of interest. I don't know what the you know, interest is.
so again, I agree with that. Again, this is my opinion. I agree with that philosophy. Just for instance, if you have $500,000, why would you want to spend $500,000 on an excavator, and then in 2 weeks it's totally demolished or got stolen or whatever? But if we put it in payment, we're massaging it, so to speak, you know, and we can afford a monthly payment. And we know in 5 years, let's say for 5 years, at simple interest, they're not taking a lot from us, so to speak.
No,
But we're
they're not.
able to keep that emergency fund still being, you know,
Maybe-
pocketed. And we're able to make this happen, and our team can still work with good equipment.
And maybe that's how we need to look at all of our equipment acquisitions for the next few years.
They'll do it. They actually, they provide those options, bro. They provide those options.
I mean, maybe not a pull behind mower, you know, they're
No,
like
no.
15 grand,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if we're looking at a skid steer, if we're looking at a dump truck, like,
Sure.
those are the things we should kind of look at.
Excavator,
And
whatever.
what I put on you, Becky, because I want to work on this stuff. I don't want it to come across like I'm pushing back on it, because I want new equipment. But what I want to put on you is, you come to us and says, here's my recommendation for option 1, right? Not just the dump truck,
Right.
but also here's the financial, you know, after you kind of review it with her, this is what I think is what makes better sense for the county, right? And then we decide if we, you know, want to approve or add it to the budget. Like if you say, hey, I already checked with PACCAR Financial, which is Peterbilt, or I checked with, I don't know, First Bank, whoever we deal with, right?
Whatever
These are my
bank.
options on the equipment.
So the other thing that I look at, Becky, Jose, how many dump trucks we have? 1, 1.5, 2?
1.5.
1.5 sometimes, right, one's in the shop.
Wait, 2.5.
So here's another thing I'm looking at, right? And seriously, there's so many, in our area, there's a lot of people that have field.
Mhm.
So it could be worth looking into, because the price of fuel is not that expensive, right? Because you buy it by the yard, or by the tonnage, right? You go on a scale.
Mhm.
So if you do the math, if we go get it, it's only 20 miles away with 3 trucks. We're bringing in a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose on manpower, but anything, but if you look at some of these prices per
Is
load,
that the IM Prado?
no, that's not just him.
Oh.
That's, if you look at a load of shell rock, what are they charging, 450?
Yeah, it went up. I haven't.
So 450, that's probably less than $100 worth of material, literally. You can actually go buy it.
Mhm.
But if we have our own equipment, we have our own team going and getting it, you're actually saving money. I mean, you're using manpower, you're putting miles on it, but at the end, I think you've got more bang for your buck.
What do the
That's how I think a little
kids
differently.
Used for now? Like,
What?
what are they used for now?
Here
Our
locally,
roads are
To-
here
to move
within
locally.
Montrose.
Like all the
The
road work,
material.
yeah, all the road work.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I would look at too, Becky, is we're looking at these things.
weigh all the
because
options.
I would like to see something in our next meeting, because I think the quicker we get something on here that actually makes sense to pull the trigger on, we can start working on it as soon as we start that new budget, because lead time is long on trucks. But what I would look at on certain big equipment, let's say you go look at, I don't know if you know how bad the skid steer is or the dump truck, but
Oh, just so you know, I had to rent the skid steer, so.
So be it.
so, but what I would look at also, not just the financing, but look at extended warranty.
Sure.
Correct.
Because sometimes it makes so much better sense just to have that warranty,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, because like on the lease agreements, you have the extended warranty on them, so, and that's what we're doing. Right now it's rented, but I'm gonna bring that up to you guys.
Okay.
So, and that was because ours literally just gave out, so. And that was one of my big ticket items.
But that's what I've been asking about, and it's always, and I get it, everything is, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's what I would like to see, if you can reach out to the banks, reach out to the companies that finance the equipment, and just say, hey, this is my hit list right here. I don't have 10 items, this is my hit list, this is what I really wanna, once she kinda has the total numbers, and you can kinda see, okay, this is what I can kinda work with in the budget,
So the other thing, Becky, like I said, let's say for instance, we pull the trigger on a new dump truck, right?
Correct.
Resurfacing, everybody and their mother's resurfacing, there's million piles all over us, in a good 25 mile radius.
Mhm.
You got 3 trucks, you go pick up that cargo of 400, 350, you're saving yourself tons. And all they're doing is they're bringing in 3 trucks in, dropping them on the road, going and getting the other one. By the time they bring the other load, that guy's already finished, whatever, because we're not working what they call effectively. Boom, the guy gets out of a tractor, he gets jump on the dump truck, he goes over here, time management, right? So, but if we have a fleet of vehicles, we can cut some of these budget numbers down, because that's a lot. I'm looking at it, but that's why I'm always asking for quotes. Hey Becky, there's a rock mine over here, there's shell rock over here. Or, here's another thing, is get some independent haulers. We have a lot of people with trucks here. Get some independent haulers, hey, how much will you charge me for the year bringing fill, bringing some type of material in?
And Mr. Mata has brought that up, and we've called the several local ones. Like, we've gone to, we've been here at the Seminole. But what it costs to go pick it up and bring it back, we would literally get only 4 loads throughout that day. Where, when the cost of what we would have to do without those employees, and then what we have, I am proud of, I'm just giving you an example, okay? He's brought me 10 for the day. So I'm not down my 3 drivers or 3 employees that could actually be out there working on the roads when I have the material coming in.
Yeah.
So and not only Seminole Tribe, but I did Garcia Farms, and I did the new one that's on 80, that we looked into the lime rock. I haven't been ordering lime rock. We've been using the asphalt, the millings, because it's holding up the roads a lot better. So, I mean, we keep, anytime Mr. Mata said, hey, I got a new one, I was like, well, we're calling to see what we can get.
Sure.
So,
Summer program, would you keep that at 30,000 for next year?
no, we're gonna have to go up on that one.
I think we put golf proceeds up to 36, so match it.
Yeah.
Um, Other things that we haven't spent on yet, South Florida water management permit, we have $100,000.
You're gonna see
Is
with
that
like Bear
something
Paw,
that we get still?
so Bear Paw Environmental, he's the one that's actually working with us on the South Florida water management, permit. He came out last week. This is what we're gonna bring up on the updates tomorrow.
Good.
On our regular meeting, so I don't wanna touch too
Is
much
it
on that, so.
something that has to stay the same for next year, or is it a one-time thing?
No, that's a permit that's gonna cost us.
So it'll be 100,000 next year as well?
No.
No,
it's a
no.
one-time thing. It's a one-time. When we
It's a
pull this
one-time.
trigger, we just have that money there. When that time comes, if we have
It
to
has to
pull
be
it, we'll
available.
pull it. If not, we won't.
So what do we need to put in for next year?
I would just say put that number that we didn't use for this year. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
same number.
Just have it there, just for standby. That doesn't mean we're gonna pull it.
Capital outlay general, this year we had 20,000, we haven't spent any capital outlay stuff.
Correct.
Carry it over to next
Yeah.
year.
As the big ticket items, we have not done anything. Only because we're waiting, because we have the grant, and if they start the construction, and Culpepper and Turpin and Mr. Fanson, tomorrow we're gonna go and give an update on that as well, on what's going on, so.
Vehicles, I know we haven't bought one yet, are we planning to this year or carry that money over to next year?
Most likely it'll probably carry to next year. Only because we're still we're, again, holding on the grant, so.
Equipment, we have
We're gonna start construction
450.
stuff, so.
Equipment was 450,000 this year, that's
Mhm.
because I went through all the proposals that you had put here.
For 2025, 2026.
Mhm.
Okay.
We haven't spent anything of it, we'll lower it for next year, or keep it the same,
That's what we were talking about right now.
Yeah, that's what we were
so
talking.
wait on
So
that one.
what you can do, Dina, as we get closer to our end date, and Becky, have those numbers ready. If you see that we're gonna have a surplus,
Mhm,
and there's something that we can purchase, pull it,
mhm.
and let it come off this budget.
Dump truck the same, if we don't
Same.
buy it this year, carry the same amount over to next year.
It's like
I
what
don't
Mr. Mata said.
I don't think you'll need that number, so that number's for a dump truck. But like, for instance, whatever capital money they do, or they do piggybacking, and all you need is a down payment, if they have a down payment, to put it on, because we can finance the 220 if we had to.
Mhm.
These capital numbers are for the actual complete cost of it, at one time.
Like what we did with the roller. The roller was 168, we bought it outright.
You don't have to do
You
it,
don't
you don't
have
have
to do
to.
it, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, like, maybe that's how we need to look at equipment purchases for the next 2-3 years, just to kind of, get our, reserves kind of in line. We can still get equipment, we just gotta, think
Not
outside the box.
purchasing them this year, or if this year, instead of doing the whole buyout rate and refinance, then I would have a better idea to put numbers in for next year, because I know what we've bought and what we haven't. But as of right now, I kinda just want a general idea of the number we should put in there.
That's what Becky's gonna work on,
Okay, so dump
for
truck
next meeting.
and equipment and the vehicle as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think she's kind of looking at a dump truck, a skid steer,
Mhm.
like must get type of items, right?
The
What was
skid
the other
steers,
one?
the skid steers is the
I mean, the
number
skid
one.
steer, maybe we need to look at that now. I mean, it's, you know what I mean?
Well, that's
Like
why
the
I'm bringing it,
financing
I'm
of
bringing it tomorrow to you guys.
So the stuff that you're looking into is to use the money in this year's budget?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, the skid steer definitely, and it's probably gonna be on the lease, because the lease is a lot less than the rental. And it's a 5-year lease for 25 a month.
Lease the owner, just lease.
That one is, no, just lease, and every 3 years they give us the new updated one.
Okay.
So whatever new model comes out, we get the new model.
Get prices on it. to
Yeah.
divide out.
No, definitely. I
I'll
have the
wait
ones
for
from,
those
the
numbers
Bolan.
from you. What about grant management?
Which
We
one?
have
What
25,000.
manufacturer?
well, there was Bobcat, and we have Kubota,
Lease the boat out.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
Lease the boat out.
Not bad.
and then I also got, from John Deere as well.
You get a John Deere, you get a caliper right there.
Yeah,
Right there in
Caterpillar.
town as
Mhm.
well. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
price them all out
Yes.
and bring to us which one really appeals to us. Which
Can you
one
get
really works.
the details as well on
Yeah.
the lease?
No, they come with everything.
Like the hours and,
Mhm. Everything,
You know
comes with
what
the hours, it comes with, all the attachments, everything.
yeah.
So the numbers you get for next meeting will be for what we're gonna use from this budget.
Yes.
And then for next year's budget numbers, I need to kind of have an idea
Of
of
what we're looking at.
of what you're looking at.
Well, that's what she's also
Yeah, I'm
gonna work
gonna
on.
work on all of
Yeah.
that.
What about grant management? We have 25 in there. Is that something that would stay the same next year?
That's
We
from
don't
August.
use it?
Yeah,
Just leave that there for right
yeah,
now,
just,
until we close these 2 grants out that we have. Well, one's actually one, because the one with the county,
What about the clubhouse?
total remodel.
We have 80,000 that we haven't
Yeah, they
used.
see
Will
too.
that carry over or will it, are there more repairs?
well, we
that
haven't
need
used it because I'm also looking into the pool room. And, Mr. Mata brought up, an idea, and they have it in several of their communities with Indian Drive, which is the open concept of the pool, where the chemicals and stuff are at, because that's gonna fall apart in a minute.
And you,
And
so,
we have to have the funding for it.
and those slides are shot too. We need to purchase
So
them
will we
slides.
need to increase the 80,000 for next year or do 80, possibly 80 this year and then keep it at 80 for another 80 possibly next year? Or do you think it needs to be higher?
Well, I'm looking at the 80 possibly for this year, and next year, we'll have to go up on it. Cause if we have to do the pool room, it's gonna be more than 80 grand, definitely.
After
But you have
80
to get the
grand of
engineer,
stuff has been
you have
done
to
this
get-
year?
Yeah, we'd have to get the engineering plans and everything, which the board did agree to go ahead and get that done and phase out the clubhouse in phases.
Okay.
And Jeff, just so you know, that was something that we talked to New Line with Dobbs when he first came on board. So,
What are
and
you
I don't know,
estimating that stuff to be at?
that's what we were working with, the engineer.
Okay, I'll wait for that one too. What about capital outlay for road paving and resurfacing? We haven't used any of,
We just
That's
put out,
because we got the,
finally, we finally got an RFP out.
yeah,
so will we need to keep it the same next year, decrease it, increase it?
You can't go lower.
we have to
Can't go lower, Dean. I wish,
So none of these are one-time things?
no, you can't go lower. So that, in my experience, the road and paving cannot stop until we fix this whole infrastructure.
Correct.
And this infrastructure, as I drive throughout this community, is getting worse every week, every day.
Are
So
you
that number,
getting numbers on this, or do we have like
she
a
puts it out to
general idea?
bid. She
Yeah,
puts
we'll
it out
put
to
it out to
bid.
bid, and then they'll give us numbers of what it's gonna cost.
So in my opinion, until we get it all done, that number has to stay like that. If it's for 5 years, 10 years, the sooner the better. But with all the traffic coming in and all the heavy equipment, that doesn't seem to be getting any easier. It's actually gonna get worse, so we're gonna have to continue doing this unless we let our infrastructure go to crap, and then, eventually in the future board will have to take care of this.
If you look at last year, I think it was like 270, 275.
Yeah, I think the proposal came, I think that was the number, but the proposal came a little lower, so that's where I think this number came from. But I think we've done this for the last 3 or 4 years, and it can't stop. It cannot stop until we get it taken care of.
I'll put it in as 225, and if you get numbers that say it'll be more, just let me know, and I'll update it.
And you know what I would like to see as well is that 990 separated from all the other expenditures. I think we need to do a subtotal of the true expenditures and then separate that 990 because that 990 gets confusing.
That 990 is gonna be the same as whatever the prior year carry forward is,
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's the offset.
I
the
really
total.
don't plan on ever coding anything to that.
No, I don't want to.
That's just
I
a
just
number
want
of
to. I
balance.
just want to add a subtotal line item
Okay,
so that we can see what the total is up to 910, and then 990 is on a separate.
so kind of subtotal up top before the carry forward, and then subtotal on the bottom before the contingency.
Yeah, I it'd be good for the board to kind of see it that way it's, because it is kind of confusing if you don't, I think you had to explain that to us the first time. so.
Absolutely.
Caterpillar Financial, you said that is still going, that's not paid off.
Caterpillar is the grader.
And so we still have that.
That's
And
the,
the payment.
Yeah, that's a new,
yeah, that's the payment. I think we have, this is our last payment on the grader, right?
this is our newest grader.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is our last payment though.
So we'll be done this
so
year.
this won't be
If I'm
on
not wrong,
next
this
year's
is,
budget.
I will confirm, but I will look at my financials. If I'm not wrong, this is our last payment. This
Well,
will go next,
That's the one that-
October.
I'll
I
tell you,
have
Bob said
something
somebody
where
go to the
July
equipment.
should be the last payment.
Right,
that-
so
But
this,
that's what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying,
saying.
until you got
This
here.
is our final payment, because we do it once a year.
They
This is the
couldn't
once a
work
year
with-
payment.
You can't work bones, you know what I'm saying? You can't
No,
work.
but
So
what
then
I'm
this
saying
wouldn't
is
need to be on
If we
Yeah,
are,
for
the
sure, like
budget
take
for
your,
next
I
year
knew
at all.
if we are gonna be done with it now, we can leave
Yeah,
that
bond.
number in there and look into,
And that's what we did, because we paid off the 2 tractors that we had on the lease agreement.
Absolutely.
And we also had the boom mower that we also did the same way. And so we've taken that and we've added, that's why we got the roller, and we just paid it off, so we don't have a payment.
yeah,
Because that extra money of those payments were not coming out.
yeah.
We were done. So now, right now, like I said, our last one is the grader. This is our last payment, and she said it's July. So that means that that number, if we do get another new piece of equipment or the lease, the dump truck or whatever, we can have, we
Kinda
have,
offset
we
some
don't have
money.
another $50,000
Gotcha.
towards our equipment. I didn't wanna keep adding.
No,
I was trying to just, okay, we did this,
Yeah.
now that same money, we're gonna apply it to this equipment, and then that way it stays in our budget without using the other money.
And that's where I'm going with it, like
Mhm.
I want us to get, upgrade this equipment.
Correct.
We just gotta be creative with how we
Correct.
buy it.
Correct.
You were talking about the lease, so what I was saying about the lease on the skid steer is, they come with a certain amount of hours you can run them.
Sure.
So if you can get the details from each company that you price,
Correct.
just so we can kinda,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got you.
Okay, I was done after that.
All right, Mr. Moreno, if you can hear us, thank you, Gina. We're gonna go into part B of number 2, is the assessment fee.
Mhm.
So,
I'm here.
all right, thank you. So with the, with everything that we've done and the letter that we've had to send off, we're going to have to raise our assessment fee. They didn't say how much, but there is a number that we have to present to them so we can start collecting and making sure that we have enough for our contingencies or those, I forget what those actual numbers are, Becky, that we need to have emergency funding, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And that we need to build those funds up. So with that being said, does the board have a number in mind for what assessment fee that will be applied to this next fiscal year budget to our land taxes? Does anybody have a number? And keep in mind, before you talk about this, the whole team is fuel prices are out the roof, groceries are out the roof, and every American is feeling it, so, just wanted to keep that in mind.
What do we have, 7,999 acres, right? I think that's the number that we have.
I mean, lots,
No,
It's 8,000.
it's 8,000.
Yeah, 8,000 and,
Because the number I saw one time was 7,999,
Just around.
8,000.
I believe it was 8,000. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a lot. So, yeah, it comes out to 3.4 and we're collecting 3.379. I mean, it's we're at 425, 3.3. Minus the Hazy County sales commissions.
Yeah.
anybody have a number in mind? The floor is open, Ms. Moreno.
Just good on, with the information that I got today.
Well, we have to put something in the next couple meetings, we have to come up with a number for sure. So I'd like to massage it as much as possible 5, no more than $10, an acre. We're already at how much an acre, Becky? 400, 3 something?
425.
We're at 425, so 425, so let's just say 430 or 440, something like that. That's where I'd like to see it as much as possible. Not much, because let's say, for instance, you take another $5, how much would that be? About another 40? About 40,000 extra, so instead of 3.3, we'll be at 3.340.
Well, this is the letter that we sent to back to the state was to actually, like we were saying, that 617,000 that you kept seeing, that you said don't apply to that. So from that balance, it should have been at a 1.2. And the state wants to know where we're gonna make up that other 600 grand. That's why the assessment fee has to go up.
Yeah, because they're looking at our budget.
Exactly. And that was not done during this team, you know, this last 8 years. This was prior to that we're correcting mistakes that were done. So that's something that they want to know, where's the rest of this money coming from? So that's why our assessment fee has to go up. And in order for it to balance out, it would be, and the auditors, when they came in, they've been saying this, you have to go up every year. And unfortunately, the boards, they were a little bit reluctant, you know, because of our community. But now the growth is so overwhelming. We've only gone up $30 one time, and then we went up $70 the second time. So we've only gone up $100 and change. And then that's,
No, Becky, but since I've been on the board, they were like 200, if I'm not mistaken, when I got on the board. They were like 200 an acre.
223, it was 223.
Now we're like at
And
100% of that.
well, again, they went up $30 back then.
But I'm just saying in the 8
Yeah,
years, so
like
since in the 8
130
years, we've gone up
Double.
from 2, yeah, we doubled. So again, that's what we were dealt with, it is what it is, that's what we were dealt with.
And
But
now
I'm
the
just
state
saying,
is claiming.
where other people don't understand is, unfortunately, these big houses, these beautiful houses that are being built, when they hit these taxes, they're gonna feel it, because not only do they have to pay Henry County, they've gotta pay here as well, right?
Correct.
Because they don't understand how, a lot of them don't understand how this is laid out. So at this present moment, that's where we're at right now. But I would say, I would try to massage it, as me personally, as least as possible, because a lot of people are having a hard time just making ends meet right now. So with that being said, guys, I want you to think about it. Because, Stephen, when do we have to have a for sure number?
By June. We have to report it by the end of June,
Okay?
to the county of what we're gonna, up the assessment to.
So let Daniel know, as well as Mr. Moreno think about it, as well as Ms. Cortez think about it, see what number.
And you're gonna also have Tuscan and Company, which is our auditors. They're gonna come in and they're gonna talk about this as well
Sure.
Next, when tomorrow?
in June.
All right. So we can't make a motion on it. This is a workshop, so
Let's talk about it.
this is to discuss that.
It sucks, but it's kind of tough to do something small too. I mean, it's kind of in the middle of both sides, you know.
Any comments, Mr. Moreno?
Yes, I do, Mr. Sanada, I've heard you saying about the ends meet of the community, but if you continue thinking that way, we will never get out of the hole or move forward. So make sure when we put that number together, it's something that we're gonna back it up and make sure the community know where we're heading to, because so we still have a lot of hesitant landowners or members of the community thinking that we don't do nothing for them but for the community. So we gotta make sure, you know, we gotta continue pushing forward for what we started, at least when I started 4 years ago, to get out of the red, number one, number two, moving forward to become a city, town, and village in the near future. So make sure, you know, we put a number together that we can get, out of this bond.
Yeah, thank you for your comment, Mr. Moreno, but anybody to say that in the last 4 years, I mean, you can open the books and you can see that we've spent money. I mean, you can tell by what we've done, even in the entry part of the Woodland area. Knock on wood, we didn't flood for the first year. with all the drainage improvements we've put in from excavating our swells, putting in new culverts. So there's a lot of things. There's been a lot of money and millions the last 4 or 5 years just put in. So there's a lot of stuff that has happened behind the scenes that, you know, as people are working, things are happening. But I agree with you. As our community grows, we have more complex problems. So that's what they have us on this board. And again, everybody's welcome to their opinions, and it's a great thing. But we are doing some stuff. It just, we only have limited funding. I wish we had more so we could tackle all this stuff in a shorter time frame. But you know, maybe those things will change in the near future. So just keep that in mind, Mr. Moreno, as well. What number we need to come up with?
You know, I understand, but I want to make sure, you know, that we, as a board members, that we are pulling to, you know, the same direction, even though we have to work for the community. But again, like you said, there's a house that's been built there that sooner or later we're going to get hit with higher taxes, and most of the money stays with Henry County. They don't do that, and they don't do nothing for the community. So that's what I'm saying. The number that we put together comes from, you know, that we agreed on it. It's something that we're going to be on the Boston side, on the financial statement, and also to move forward for what we like to do with the community.
All right. Thank you. Any comments?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Any comments?
Thank you.
Stephen, you got anything for us?
Look, there a lot of numbers floating around, but yeah,
All
no
right.
comments.
Becky, you got anything?
No, sir.
With that being said, meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Moreno.
see you tomorrow in person.
Yes, sir.
I'll be there.